The MySQL is the world's most popular open-source database used by 9 websites out of 10 on the internet. SmartMySQL come with a new feature called Smart Query Optimizer, and it can able to identify slow queries or not indexed queries while writing in query browser and highlight as a warning. Also, the Smart Query Optimizer module can analyze the given query and give optimal indexes and query rewrite recommendations. Our proprietary algorithm takes dozens of factors under consideration to eventually recommend the optimal indexes matching your SQL queries. We have been observing performance improvement more than 100 times query speed after added recommended optimal indexes and query rewrite recommendation. Simplifies most of the query construction with drag and drop option in query browser. It constructs select queries with join conditions between dragged tables within seconds after you just need to add other filter clauses to complete your SQL query. It saves up to 90% time. The Smart Query Browser coming with query syntax error highlight while writing queries. Even if you execute that, it highlights the error part in the query. Also, it provides direct Google, Stack Overflow, Yahoo and Bing search engines help link icons along message to find out quick solutions. The Smart Autocomplete feature is saving your time to reuse historical queries, favorite queries and frequently executing queries with simple shortcuts. Also, if you add your query in the favorite list, it will be displayed in autocomplete list along with DB objects and DB keywords. We are introducing new feature called Create a Stored Procedure with Cursor. It can create most of SP code with cursor query, and you just need to add your core logic in the middle for each record of the cursor. In the demo, developing a stored procedure that builds an email list of all employees in the employee table in a few seconds. MySQL logs all slow queries into slow query log file which need to improve performance. SmartMySQL introduces a rich graphical user interface tool for MySQL slow query log file analysis. It can analyze and gives detailed summary reports with a rich user interface once you upload slow query log file. It is easily understandable by everyone, and queries are grouped by fingerprint and reported in descending order of query time, that is, the slowest queries first. The module has integrated Smart Query Optimizer, provides optimal indexes for all slow queries and long-running queries. Once you implemented them, then you can observe a significant query performance and query response time improvements. Finally, the SmartMySQL making MySQL query tuning is very easy and can be completed quickly without MySQL expert level knowledge. The SmartMySQL debugger for long-running queries issue. There are many cases to run slow queries on DB server if the queries didn't review by DB performance expert and it causes DB server stall. Generally, a query runs slow if it ties up a lot of resources and there is resource contention on the server, namely CPU, memory and I/O. Apart from buying a bigger, faster server, indexing tables relevant to your slow queries could be one way to help improve performance. The SmartMySQL debugger automatically detects and displays long-running queries with a rich user interface. Also, it has the Query Optimizer feature, helps to fine-tune long-running queries with optimal indexes. The SmartMySQL debugger for the long-running uncommitted transaction issue. Among the many things that can cause a server stall is a long-running transaction. If a transaction remains open for a very long time without committing and has modified data, then other transactions could block and fail with a lock wait timeout. The problem is very difficult to find the offending code so that it will fix. We see this much too often, and have developed a solution with a rich graphical user interface and simplified for tracking down what that long-running uncommitted transaction is doing. The SmartMySQL helps easily identify related undo transaction thread ID, then you can kill it for fixing the issue. The SmartMySQL debugger for MySQL replication lagging issue. The SmartMySQL debugger module can help to debug your MySQL replication breaking issues and replication lagging issues. The SmartMySQL debugger can able to find out which queries are causing replication lagging, then fix replication lagging issues with the query fine-tuning technique with help of Query Optimizer. The SmartMySQL debugger for query locks. The query locks occurs when many DB connections all require frequent access to same tables or rows. The MySQL server itself uses several types of locks. If a query is waiting for a lock at the server level, the SmartMySQL debugger shows who's blocking and who are waiting, and for how long with a rich user interface. The SmartMySQL debugger has integrated query optimizer and it helps to fine-tune the blocking queries with optimal indexes. The SmartMySQL debugger for open too many connections. Most of the time, an overly high number of connections is the result of either bug in applications not closing connections properly or because of wrong design, like the connection to MySQL is established, but then the application is busy doing something else before closing MySQL handler. The SmartMySQL gives detailed graphs about which hosts, which users are opening too many connections and other details help to identify the issue. The SmartMySQL debugger shows detailed reports about DB size, index size, and disk size. It alerts if data is reached more than 80% of the disk or if index size is greater than data size. It shows detailed reports duplicate indexes and unused indexes. It helps to drop duplicate, unused indexes for avoiding indexes overhead on the DB server. The SmartMySQL gives detailed reports about DB load and which SQL commands are executing with high rate. It provides DB connection details which hosts, which users are opening too many connections help to identify the issue. The SmartMySQL configuration module for MySQL applies best practices to achieve better MySQL database performance. Also, the SmartMySQL provide details reports about MySQL open tables details, inode buffer pool details, inode row operation details, recent foreign key errors details and InnoDB status reports, and MySM engine report. The SmartMySQL debugger automatically detects MySQL production server issues and provides solutions with rich user interface safe to use by any computer engineer. Even it is more accurate and faster than the human debugging.